Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster was shown off yesterday morning on day 4 of the Taipei Gameshow during a 1-hour onstage presentation. The event was live streamed by Taiwanese game publisher Just Dan. The reason I'm uploading this video a day late is because they made the entire day 4 live stream of the event private on YouTube. They also deleted the VOD of the stream on Twitch. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to download the video before it was removed. The stream began at 2 AM my time, the Suikoden presentation didn't start until 3 AM, it finished at 4 AM, and then the live stream continued for several more hours as they showcased other games. I was exhausted and dying to go to bed by the time the Suikoden presentation ended, and rather than sit through another 3 or 4 hours of the show, I was planning to download it when I woke up. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible, as when I woke up yesterday morning, the live stream had been made private. The reason I waited a day to make this video is because I was hoping they'd make the video of the presentation public again, but they still haven't done so. Luckily, I took some notes during the show as well as a few screenshots, but thankfully IGN Japan did upload some footage from their hands-on experience with the demo that was playable at the show, and that footage showed off more than the official presentation did. So we do have footage from that to use. For the most part, the presentation was a nothing burger, and it was more of the same that we'd already seen from the Tokyo Game Show last year, as this event was largely to promote the game to the Taiwanese audience, but we do have some new information about the game thanks to the event. Suikoden director Takahiro Sakiyama and producer Rui Naito were on stage for the presentation, and they gave us a little glimpse at the gallery mode. Some of us already knew what would be included in the gallery from playing the PSP versions of the games, which the HD remaster is based on, or from watching my previous videos, but the gallery is pretty much identical to the PSP version in terms of what content it includes. We can listen to the game's soundtracks, watch the opening movies, watch FMVs and scenes from both games, and once you beat the game, you can rewatch the ending and the credits. There are certain things missing from the gallery that were in the PSP gallery. The Fire and Lightning Spell movies are missing from the HD Remaster gallery. This screenshot is from Raw Lecluse over on Twitter, who spotted their omission. They didn't have a game clear save file, so the endings and credits weren't viewable. It's possible there are some extra things missing from the gallery that this clip doesn't show that weren't unlocked. But here's what you're all really here for. We got a little look at a feature that many of you have been asking for a long time. Difficulty options. This is a feature that a lot of people have been requesting since the remaster was initially revealed, and it has now been confirmed that you'll be able to choose to play on easy, normal or hard mode upon starting a new game. Everyone that has already played Suikoden 1 and 2 before will know that the games are already quite easy, but even so, it's nice to see an easy option included, and I don't want to see any comments talking down on people for choosing to play on easy. There's nothing wrong with making the games more accessible to more people, and there could be any number of reasons why someone may choose to play on easy. Maybe they have a disability, maybe they're new to gaming and this is their first RPG, maybe they enjoy the storytelling of RPGs but they don't enjoy the combat. The inclusion of easy and how somebody chooses to play a single-player story-based game doesn't in any way interfere with your own enjoyment of the game, or how you might choose to play. And playing on a harder difficulty than them doesn't make you a bigger fan than they are. As for the other two difficulties, normal appears to be the difficulty that the original games were, so I suspect that many of us will be playing on hard mode. While they didn't reveal much details about the difficulty options, the scrolling text at the bottom of the screen reveals that the difficulty you choose will determine the strength of enemies. The description makes it sound like nothing more than a case of increased enemy stats for hard mode and decreased enemy stats for easy mode. I suspect hard mode will turn enemies into damage sponges. Hopefully there's more to it than that. Instead of just having enemies turn into damage sponges, I'd like to see smarter AI and have them target weaker members of your party to pick them off, or to focus on big threats. And I'm sure some people would love to have modifiers like decreased experience gain, decreased item and potch drops, and so on. Time will tell, but it sounds like it might only be stat increases and decreases for enemies depending on the difficulty, so temper your expectations and expect nothing more than spongier enemies. Also, if you're playing on easy or normal, you can change the difficulty at any time during the game by going into settings and selecting a new difficulty option. But if you start the game on hard mode, you can't change the difficulty after starting the game. Though I do wonder if someone is playing the game on normal and they feel like the game is too easy and then they changed it to hard mid-playthrough, could they then switch back to normal if hard is too hard for them? Or does the hard mode rule only apply if you're starting a new game on hard? Who else is looking forward to getting absolutely spanked senseless by Luca Blight on hard mode? I don't think most of us are prepared for how badly he's going to mop the floor with us, and I for one am really looking forward to it. One cool thing that was shown is that thanks to the new UI, rune and unite attack descriptions are now visible while in combat during Suikoden 1. This is something that Suikoden 1 was always lacking in. It's a very welcome quality of life change and it'll be very useful for new players. Nothing much else of importance or significance was shown off during the presentation, but they did show off the first couple of minutes of Suikoden 2, and I must say I have a very big gripe to pick about Ryu and Joey's unite attack. It is way too fast. You aren't even given a moment to appreciate the animation. The attack is over as soon as it begins. I hope this isn't a sign that all unite attacks are going to be this fast, because I can see this being something that a lot of people will be complaining about, myself included. Forget about the damage that unite attacks do. The animations on the unite attacks are the highlight of using them, and if the animation is going to zip by that quickly, it does take the fun out of using them. And I've noticed this for a while now, since back in early December when Konami started releasing little gameplay clips. I haven't mentioned anything about it because I'm honestly not sure if it bothers me or not. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I kind of notice it, but I also kind of don't. But there's almost a fog-like darkening effect around the corners of the screen and around the sides of the screen. It's more noticeable in Suikoden 2, but it's present in certain footage in Suikoden 1 as well. There's a well-lit circle around your character that makes the area nice and bright, but if you pay attention to the corners and the sides of the screen, they're much darker. There's almost a dark greyish shadow in the corners and edges. Does that bother you? Do you even notice? Do you even care? I'm not sure I do. By the way, they showed off a graph at the beginning of the presentation to introduce the crowd to the series. The graph showed Suikoden 1 and 2, Suikoden Volume 1 and 2, Suikoden 3, 4 and 5, as well as Tier Christ and Woven Web of a Century. I can understand not showing the Saturn port of 1 or the PSP ports of 1 and 2, or Suikoden card stories, as that was just a retelling of Suikoden 2 in the form of a card game. But why was Suikoden Tactics not included on this graph? How are you going to put an abomination of a spin-off in Woven Web of the Century, which is Suikoden in name only, and an insult to the series on this graph, but not include Suikoden Tactics? Woven Web should be cast into the void and forgotten about. It was that bad. And lastly, not that we needed confirmation because 99.9% of us knew this would be included, as it would make no sense not to include it. But I did see some people over the last year asking about the inclusion of save data imports between Suikoden 1 and 2. Well, as you can see, when starting up Suikoden 2, you can import save data from Suikoden 1 just like you could in the original. So that should put a few people's concerns to rest. So, how excited are you all for hard mode? Are you looking forward to that Luca Blight fight on hard mode just as much as I am? That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.